And so this tour, it leads these jewel thieves through the Hall of Gems, and they're looking at all these gems on display, and they're like, oh yeah, we need to rob this place. So they put their heads together and they start coming up with a plan to break into the History Museum and take their collection of historical gems. And these guys, they're like professionals at this, so they take the time to map out this whole heist. Like, they visit the museum and they observe the guards while they're doing their nightly rounds. They low-key check the windows in the museum for any vulnerabilities, and lucky for them, they actually see one of those windows is cracked open. And while they're planning out this whole robbery, they're staying in a nearby hotel. And since they have a surplus of money from all their Miami robberies, they're like in this hotel throwing these big ass loud parties in the room with lots of people. I mean, they're just having a great time. So the big night finally rolls around, and Roger drives them to the History Museum. And Murph and Alan, they jump the fence and they run across the courtyard, and then Alan climbs up the side of the building, mostly using the fire escape, and then he makes it to the cracked window. And then he lowers a rope down for Murph. And then Murph climbs up and they open the window and they get inside and they head over to the Hall of Gems. And once they're there, they use a glass cutter and they cut holes in the display cases. And lucky for them, the alarms were old and outdated and no longer working. And these guys, these surfers, end up stealing around 24 stones, including 3 very important gems: the DeLong Star Ruby, the Eagle Diamond, and the Star of India Sapphire, which were worth around $400,000, which in today's money would be around $4 million. Not to mention, these are historical gems, so they are literally impossible to replace. So anyway, these guys take these gems and they take whatever else they can, and then they climb back down out of the building and they flee back to their hotel. The next morning, Murph and Alan, they fly to Miami, taking the jewels with